plan by God, but it's worked out obviously for both teams, man, and definitely appreciate Sonny, man. I wouldn't be here without him, so definitely thankful for a guy like Sonny, man.
When you think about your relationship with him and the fact that you were on staff for a couple months there in Fort Worth, have you been keeping track of the Frogs up to this point?
Obviously, there's a lot of guys over there that I built relationships with, obviously with our time prior to SMU, so always, love supporting guys like that, and it's fun to see it come full circle, so it's gonna be awesome.
And how excited are you to just get out there on Monday and play a football game?
It's a top game in the country, so obviously, the excitement level is high. These guys have been preparing a long time for this moment, so I'm excited to see them go to work.
You think about a guy like Max Duggan, what he's been able to do on the football field this year. How do you game plan for a guy who's so capable of throwing and running the ball?
Man, it's tough, because like you said, he can do both things very well. Going back to my time at Kansas, SMU, and now here, it's been awesome to kind of see his development and maturation. So, it's tough when you got a game plan for a guy like that. So, it's definitely going to be fun to go out there and compete on Monday. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Chidera. Mark Weiser, Athens Banner Herald. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Go ahead.
What was last week like for you? Between getting ready for the Peach Bowl and obviously your twins being born, just what was last week?
Man, it was hectic, but me and my wife talked about it. It's almost like it was the best week, one of my best weeks of my lives. To have those two little baby girls and being able to spend time with them now is giving me a whole different perspective that you can't put into words. And then obviously the game last Saturday, man, it just kind of capped off what a great week that was for us and my family. So, man, it was awesome.
How hectic was those days?
Oh, man, it was hectic, man. Driving back and forth between Athens and Atlanta every day and, making sure I was there with my wife and giving her the support, but also wanted to make sure that I was there for my guys at practice too and make sure that they were ready to go for the game last week.
What day were they born?
They were born Wednesday, December 28th, 5:27 a.m. and 5:29 a.m.
What are the names?
Amara and Imani.
Can you spell it?
A-M-A-R-A and then A-M-A-N-A.
There's a lot of talk, obviously, with your connections with Coach Dykes. Take me back to when you were at Kansas and that opportunity came up at SMU. What appealed to you about going there and to coach with Coach Dykes?
Obviously, Coach Jim Levitt was the D coordinator at SMU, and that was my connection, obviously, to the program initially. But it was quick to see when I got to SMU, that Coach Dykes was, one of the best that I've been around. Just as far as the CEO mentality and the guys that he had in place around there, and throughout the year, it was awesome just being able to build a relationship with him and his family, and obviously the guys there. It made just being around them even that much more fun. So it was definitely a great opportunity to kind of learn and work with them.
Are there specific things you think you learned from working with Coach Dykes?
Yeah, absolutely. Making sure that he's one of those guys where if he hires you to get the job done. He doesn't need to look over your shoulder and do those kind of things. And so just giving me a sense of pride of, hey, I got to understand I'm hired to do a job and I got to do it at the highest level. Oftentimes you see in this profession, guys tend to hire guys that they know. And Coach Dykes went out on a limb hiring me, somebody that he didn't know, and just to kind of pay that back to him, that was always my thought process while I was over there.
What's your first year in Florida like? Obviously, becoming trying to connect with the smart, but you come in here and make a big impact on your life.
Man, it's been a great learning experience. Obviously coming here, I knew that being able to learn under a guy like Coach Smart and guys like Coach Muschamp, Coach Scott, Coach Schumer is going to be a huge for my development, and you can't put a value on just some of the information that I've been able to learn and pick up this year. So, man, I think so far it's been great, man, and continuing to just kind of hear these guys talk and hear their thoughts, it's only going to help and benefit me for the long run.
What have you seen in Southside linebacker this year, especially given some of the injury difficulties that have been presented?
Man, resilient. Man, these guys work. Regardless of who it is, these guys prepare like their numbers are going to be called whenever it is. And unfortunate, but it's been fortunate. When a guy like Nolan goes down, you get to see a guy like Chaz Chambliss have to step up, and he shows that hey, he's ready to play. And then in the games where guys like where Beefy has gone down and Marvin Jones has had to step up as well, you get to see that these guys, they take the preparation serious, and it's benefiting them when they step foot on the field. So, man, it's a resilient group for sure.
How do you guys feel health-wise at outside linebacker going into Monday night?
Man, obviously, I feel great, man. The guys have had a good week of work. The guys have repped well. they know what's at stake, and they're proving every day that they're continuing to get their minds and their bodies ready for battle come Monday.
Why did you want to come to Georgia when you were with Coach Dykes? What was it about Georgia, the appeal to come here?
Man, defensive football. The defensive football that the brand that Coach Smart has built. A guy like that who obviously has built a brand and reputation for himself, just having the opportunity to learn from one of the greats, and that was always my mission to learn from a guy like that, and just happen to work out.
How long had you been on the TCU staff by the time the Georgia opportunity came out?
Probably say maybe a little over a month. It wasn't too long. We got there after our last game at SMU, so that was end of November. So about the beginning of December, a little bit into January before that opportunity presented itself.
How hard was letting Coach Dykes know that you were going to do it?
It was hard, especially again because the relationship that my family and I had built, with Coach Dykes and some of those guys on that staff, and the work that we were beginning to put in. It was definitely hard.
He signed 3 outside linebackers in his last recruiting class. Gabe Harris, David Wilson. What do you expect from those guys coming in, especially as all?
Man, athletic guys. Athletic guys with some length and some size. Definitely going to help. Obviously losing guys like Nolan and Beefy this year, we're going to have to look for some guys who can come in and compete to contribute. So it's going to be great getting those guys early to come out there and see what they're going to be able to do this spring, and obviously this offseason. It's going to be awesome to see what those guys can do.
Do you still have family in town here? You're from California,
yeah, man. This is home, man. I live 20 minutes from here. All my family's down this way, so this is home.
So how many tickets did you get for them?
I capped them off. Look, not everybody get to come to this one. Yeah.
And have you been doing FaceTime with your wife and
Oh,
your
absolutely,
kids?
man. FaceTime as much as possible. That's the best thing to do right now. Whenever they're awake, trying to FaceTime and get to see them and get to interact, the more the better.
Sometimes